welcome to Gardening at 58 North. In this video I'd like to give you guys an update on my Amaryllis here. As you can see, it's looking really good at the moment. I think this might actually be the best display I've ever had from any of my Amaryllis bulbs. And the reason for that is it's got 8 flowers at one time, and I think 8 flowers at one time is the most I've ever had from an Amaryllis bulb. Now normally when my Amaryllis flowers, I normally get 2 shoots quite often, but what tends to happen is one shoot comes up and flowers, and just as that one's dying off, the second shoot comes up and flowers. So I get like a staggered flowering, so it lasts a bit longer, but it's not quite as showy. But this one is really showy. As you can see, it's got 4 on each stem. In each flower stalk there are 4 flowers. So I'll just rotate it slowly now so you can see all 4 of them. And I think this is probably at its absolute peak. I've been waiting a few days just for them all to open. Now 4 of them did open slightly earlier, so it was interesting. 2 opened on this stem, 2 opened on that stem, and then just in the last couple of days we've now had the other 2 from each stem open. So there's now 4 on each stem. So as you can see, 8 in total, and it's looking really great. And this is interesting because this is the bulb which has actually had some rot in the past. So you can see the bulb itself is actually quite small, and it's missing about a third of itself where that's rotted off, but despite that it's still flowered just as well as ever. So I've been really happy with how that's done. As I say, this is probably the best flower I've ever had from one of my Amaryllis bulbs. So my other 2 here, this is the baby one which I took off from this previously. As you can see, it's got some really nice healthy new growth. This has just come out of dormancy recently, and it's grown quite a lot since I think the last update video. That's looking really nice. Now my biggest Amaryllis bulb is this one here, but it's only just been coming out of dormancy, so the growth is quite slow. And unfortunately it's only got leaves at the moment. I've had a look and I can't see any flower shoots starting to come up, so I'm not sure when it's going to start flowering, but certainly coming out of dormancy. So what I'm doing at the moment is I'm starting to water this one. Just a tiny bit of water because it's still not got much leaves, so it doesn't need a lot of water at the moment, just enough to bring it out of dormancy. This one I'm watering quite a lot and it's really growing quite nicely. I haven't fed any of my bulbs yet, but I'll be feeding this one a high nitrogen feed soon, just to help with the leaf development. And then I'll soon be giving a high nitrogen feed to my one at the back here once the flowers are finished, to also give good leaf development. Once the leaves are fully formed, then I'll switch to a high potassium feed, and that will help with the flower development. But as you can see, this is doing really well. Quite big flowers. I don't think they're the largest flowers I've ever had, but they're a decent size. But as I say, I've never had 8 in total before, so I'm really happy with how it's done. And I'll give you guys an update in a few weeks. This one will have died back by then, but we should have put on a lot of leaf growth, and you can see there's a lot of leaves which are coming. Let me turn that around a little bit. There's at least 5 leaves. There might be some more. So we'll see how that does. And the other ones as well, this will put on a lot more growth. And it's interesting that this baby one now has leaves about the same size as the adult plants. So if I'm lucky with such big leaves, this might grow quite a fat bulb this year, and might even have one small flower next year, but we'll just have to see how well it does this year. And this one as well will probably put on a lot of growth, and hopefully we'll get some good flowers out of this. As it's such a big bulb, I'm expecting to have quite a lot of flowers from this. Last year I was expecting a lot of flowers as it was a really fat bulb, but it only ended up with 1 flower stalk. I thought it was maybe going to have a second one, but it never did. So it'll be interesting to see how many this has this year. As I say, if it's a bigger bulb, the more energy it could have. So that's all for this update, and I'll give you guys an update, as I say, in probably a few weeks' time, once this has died back, and once hopefully we're getting some flower shoots starting on this other one down here.